Hi everyone, it's Chris Natsky here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your final Mind of the Champion tip of the week for 2018. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Back at the beginning of this year, I set an intention to produce one of these videos per week, and right now I think this is number 54. So I met my intention on that, but I couldn't have done it with all the love, without all the love and support that I got from everyone. Love the comments, the shares, the likes, etc. So I'm really thanking you for all of that. Hi Tia, good to see you, my friend. Really thanking you for being there for me and helping me spread my message out there, and I look forward to providing more inspirational content in 2019 and beyond. So anyway, today I want to start with a question. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? You know, if you're like me, I spend these last couple of weeks of the year as I review what went on over the past year, looked at the things that went well, my successes, also looked at the things that didn't go as well as I want them to, and start to create a plan for what I want to create in the next year. And this happens for me as well as folks that I work with, as well as we take a look at the things that we want to create, and then we tend to pull back, right? Because we have this whole past record of things maybe not working in the past, or we take ourselves right to the point where we're comfortable, but we don't get beyond that comfort zone. And so the question then is begged, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Now, as I was thinking about this, I was reminded of something that my good friend Craig Zablocki shares with audiences, these statistics. There was a test that was done years ago by NASA. It was called the Longitudinal Test of Creative Potential. And what they did is they brought together this group of 4 and 5-year-olds. And when they were looking at these 4 and 5-year-olds and they tested them on the matrices that they had created, they found out that 98% of these 4 and 5-year-olds, they tested out as creative geniuses. All right? So now what happened is they sent the kids off and they brought them back 5 years later, and what they found is now that number had dropped to 30%. From 98% to 30% creative geniuses. They sent them on their way, they brought them back another 5 years after that, and they found out that that number dropped to 12%. Fast forward another 5 years, they come back as young adults, and now only 2% of that population tested as creative geniuses. So what happened? You know, what I believe happened is that during the course of their life, things came upon them that maybe got them off center. They learned things that they weren't as good as they thought they would be, and they stopped dreaming. They stopped imagining. They stopped being creative. And what happens is when we press the energy down, we really stifle what we were here to bring to the planet. So what do you do about it? I mean, number one is to be aware of it, certainly. But number two, what can we do about it now? So these are the 4 things that I've thought about that I think can really help us all so that we can get into that creative genius, so that we can create the life that we want in 2019 and beyond. And the first one is to think big. And big is an acronym for us. You know, we've all heard that idea of think big or dream big, but let's look at it from this way. The first thing is B stands for be bold. Be bold about what you're going to dream about. Don't put any limitations on it. I mean, that's what we do as kids, right? Is we have this imagination that we just let go, and we don't have these filters on it. So dream big. Number next, or the next letter, I, stands for imagine the action you can take. Imagine yourself actually doing what you want to do. And then G stands for focus on giving your gifts. So how can you take action and give your gifts in the same way so that you can really make an impact? The next is hang around with big people. And I don't mean about people that are oversized. I'm talking about people that have big visions as well. People that are really looking to make a difference in the world. Because as we've talked in some of these past videos, when you hang around people that are thinking big, that are being big, that really want to make a difference, it gets contagious. And if you don't have people in your immediate circle, like your friends and families that can support you in that, look outside of that. You know, hire a coach, find a mentor, or join groups where you've got people that are really going to be helping you in staying on track for that big vision that you have for yourself. Number next is reframe all your failures as learning. And I know that's really hard to do. From a recovering perfectionist here, I'm talking to you, is that many times what we do is we just look at the failures and we don't look at what we've actually learned from them. And it always makes me chuckle when I watch an NFL quarterback, for instance, and when they make a mistake, if they stay in their head on that mistake, it'll mess up the whole rest of the game. But oftentimes the best, like a Peyton Manning, you'd see him come back to the sidelines after he'd throw an interception. He'd look at his tablet, and then he'd change his strategy and he'd move on ahead. That's what we need to do. And in fact, sometimes when you look at some of those challenges that we've had and those failures, sometimes those were the best lessons that we've ever had. And then finally is this. Choose something that you're scared to do and do it. Then choose another one and repeat. You've probably all heard the adage that courage isn't a lack of fear, it's having the fear and doing it anyway. And how many times in our lives have we held ourselves back, yours truly as well, held ourselves back because we were fearful of taking action and then we regretted it later. Or we took action in something that did scare us and then afterwards we thought, wow, that wasn't as bad as we thought. Or we felt great about ourselves. Normally, when we look back at our lives, we're not proud of the times when things were easy. We're proud of when things were difficult and we got through the challenge. So think about that. What are the things that you're scared of taking action on this year? And make a commitment to do it, even if it's one small step and then another. So, for this next week, for 2019 and beyond, I'm really going to encourage you to ask yourself the question, what would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? And then take some action. And in fact, if you're interested in doing it, I would love to have your comments on this. I mean, write down, so you put a proclamation out there in answer to this video. What are you committed to doing this year that you're going to do? Because if you knew you didn't, you couldn't fail. And then, of course, as always, if you got value from this video, please like, share, and comment. And again, it's been my real honor and blessing to be able to share my messages, my work with you this year. And I look forward to us all having a great 2019 and beyond. We'll see you next year.